after the plants are in the ground, I'm gonna show you the #1 thing I do to ensure success in a raised bed garden in the Phoenix area. So make sure you watch till the end. Hey everybody, it's Jake Mace, the vegan athlete. I'm here at my home in Tempe, Arizona, which I call Longevity Gardens because I want to have longevity through eating healthy plants out of my garden. Today in this video, I'm going to give you everything you need and all the knowledge and all the tools you need to fill and plant out your raised bed garden. And that's the raised bed garden I'm going to do today right there. It's a 6 foot by 3 foot raised bed garden. I built it out of redwood fence post. Total cost for this raised bed was 20 bucks. I have 2x4s made out of redwood that hold the fence post together. And the reason why this net is here is because I have a gigantic dinosaur that roams my yard, whose name is Leo. He's a giant sulcata African tortoise. And if this net was not here, he would peer his lovely head into the bed and eat all the plants once they're growing strong. So the net's to block my dogs and to block the tortoise. We have a lovely trellis here I got from a hardware store as well. This costs $7. And this is for concrete laying cement on the ground, but I'm using it for a trellis instead. And we're hoping that we're gonna have some vining plants, some healthy plants, and some edible flowers around the outside. Are you ready? Are you excited? I'm ready, I'm excited. I'm gonna give myself an Insta garden today. I got some beautiful plant start seedlings from Suzanne Vilardi with VilardiGardens.com. You guys really should go check out Suzanne Vilardi. She hooked me up big time with all different kinds of rare varieties of basil, tomatillos, hibiscus, edible flowers, eggplant, and thyme, different herbs like thyme and oregano and sage. We also got some cucumbers from Suzanne, and she's at different markets around the Phoenix area, and I'm telling you right now, the best seed starts and seedlings and plant starts are being grown by Suzanne Vilardi with VilardiGardens.com. You guys can check her out for where she's gonna be, and she gives you a great deal. Tell her Jake Mace sent you. These plants are grown in great soil, and they're gonna be an amazing addition to my diet and my yard. So thanks to Suzanne Vilardi for hooking me up big time. Stage 1. I got this nice block of coconut pith, coconut coir. I got off of Amazon. We're gonna let this soak in some water while we fill the bed with soil, because this is like a sponge and it needs water to turn into good growing medium. Normally some gardeners use peat moss. I don't, because peat moss is not renewable, it's not sustainable. And the coconut coir is gonna help us to retain a lot of moisture and water in our raised bed. This is pond water from my pond over there. So I fill the wheelbarrow with pond water from the koi pond. That's gonna give some good nutrients to this coconut coir, and we'll come back to this coconut coir in 5 minutes. And while it's soaking, I'm gonna take the Garden Time potting soil, which is from Grow Well, or sometimes called Western Organics, which is made here in Phoenix. Only Lowe's has this. It's about $5.90. It's a 2.5 cubic foot bag of soil. You could go down to Western Organics yourself and pick up the soil in a truck bed. A little cheaper that way, but you gotta spend your time going down there and stuff. So I figure it's a pretty good deal. 2.5 cubic feet for $5.90. So we're gonna fill the bulk of this raised bed with this potting soil. As you can see, I already put 2 bags in there. Let's get to work. If you guys want to see what this potting soil looks like, here's what it looks like. It's pretty broken down, and I've had a lot of success using this soil over the last 4 years. I don't want to bore you guys, so I'll come back to you guys in 5 minutes when I finish filling this guy, and I'll show you the next step. I got the raised bed filled up about 2/3, 3/4 of the way, more or less, just like this. Now I take my shovel and I move the dirt around here. And so this is how high I fill the bed with compost. And see how we're still about a foot, maybe a little less than a foot from the top. So now it's time to put what we call amendments to this soil. We're gonna amend the soil, which means we're gonna put other healthy substances in our raised bed to give nutrients to the plants. And our goal is going to be to put nutrients in the soil and cause a microbial explosion, a small bug and beneficial fungus explosion under the soil that will help a civilization to be born for the plants to reap the benefits of. Number one, we've got our coconut coir now. It's soaking up the water. And I get my shovel in there, I'm just gonna chop it up. Remember how this was a block a few minutes ago? I showed you guys the coconut coir in block form. I get it off Amazon.com, so if you want to get the kind that I get, go to Amazon and look for the picture of the label I showed you 2 minutes ago in this video. Because I found that that particular brand on Amazon breaks down really nicely into a growing medium that looks like this. Look at that. That was my coconut. Now it's gonna be beneficial soil for my plants. It's Insta-garden, Jake May style. With a raised bed this size, I put 2 blocks of that coconut coir inside. Your raised beds don't have to be this tall, they can be shorter. But I'm building this one so that my animals are blocked. And that's layer number 1. Now I'm gonna come back to it and put some more compost on top of the coconut coir. And then I'll spread that out. I want to thank 2 women for helping me with this video today. Number 1, my wife Pam. In the comments below the video, say thanks Pam for filming this, because she takes time out of her day so that you guys can get a little gardening education and inspiration. And also especially thanks to Suzanne Vilardi with VilardiGardens.com for helping me plant amazing edible plants. Just in case you missed it the first time, here's the brand of coconut coir I like. And we're gonna open this sucker up, and it's our second block. I'm gonna fill it up with the pond water. While that coconut coir soaks in the pond water, we got some worm castings here. Worm castings are basically the poop of worms. And normally I put a full bag of worm castings in, but I only had this much. And it'll be okay, it'll be okay. Relax, babies. 1 bag of worm castings, and I sprinkle that around. And what's gonna happen is we're gonna build such good soil that the worms will find their way into this raised bed anyways, because the bottom of this raised bed is open. There's no bottom to this raised bed, literally the earth is beneath it. And that is good for my area because I have no gophers, I have no ground squirrels, no rabbits. I just got voracious and hell spawn born birds. So if I can plant things the birds don't like outside of my netted area, then I'm usually pretty good. My number 1 gardening hindrance is birds and Leo the tortoise. If you guys had rabbits, ground squirrels, rats, things like that, you might want to put some chicken wire on the bottom of the raised bed to block those pests. And if you had a bunch of grass all around, you might want to take some boxes or a bunch of newspapers and layer the bottom of the raised bed with broken down boxes or newspapers to protect the grass from growing into your soil. Next, I've got my Azomite A to Z of minerals, including trace elements. You guys can pick up Azomite for $5 or $10 at the gardening section of jakemase.com, my website. And so I put the micronized Azomite on here, and I'm gonna dump about this much Azomite into the bed. They say to put 1 pound of Azomite for 10 square feet of garden. And this is a 6x3, so do the math, 18 square feet. But I put more than the recommended amount. And I kind of, without breathing it, you really don't want to breathe this. I would suggest wearing a mask maybe. But I meditate for a living, so I'm holding my breath right now while talking at the same time. And then when I water this guy for the first time, all that Azomite will absorb and soak into the soil. Azomite has over 70 different minerals and trace elements that are going to feed the microbes, feed the soil, and allow for an explosion of microscopic life to occur under the ground. Take our second load of coconut coir, and I'm going to just artistically sprinkle it in there. I'm an artist, and my garden is my canvas. And again, I'm going to move this guy around and even it out. Make it look beautiful. What I found is that these raised beds that I build 20 inches tall, 6 foot by 3 foot, they take about 8 bags of soil, of this kind of soil. That's 2.5 cubic feet. So this is the 8th bag. So see how the bottom 2/3 of the raised bed was just the soil. And then the top third contains all of the worm castings, coconut coir, azomite, etc., etc. And that way all of my more expensive amendments that are going to give the plants a lot of growth and a lot of nutrients, they're contained where the plant's root is going to be. And you got to figure the plants probably only go down about 1 foot. Their root only goes down about 1 foot, so. Then I'm going to throw some more azomite up there. Then I'm going to throw the last of the coconut coir in there. No matter what anybody tells you, Phoenix area gardeners, Tempe, Scottsdale, Chandler, Mesa, Gilbert, Paradise Valley, wherever you are in Phoenix area, put extra coconut coir, more than the recommended amount. Put extra azomite, put extra worm castings. And when you guys plant your plants, if you watch the end of this video, after the plants are in the ground, I'm going to show you the #1 thing I do to ensure success in a raised bed garden in the Phoenix area. So make sure you watch till the end. The reason why you want to use extra of the coconut coir is because it's so freaking dry here, you guys. We're living in the desert. And if you guys include extra coconut coir, you'll have better moisture retention in the desert. You'll use less water. The roots of your plants will be cooler, and you'll have more success. All right, you guys, that's pretty much how it's gonna look right there, filled to the top. There are other amendments you can put inside your raised beds, but I'm just giving you guys the basics, right? The basics. I figure that the soil cost me about $60 to $75 to fill the bed. So you figure $80 to $95, and you've got the wood and the soil, and you've got a bed that's gonna last you for, hopefully, for decades. I'm gonna take the plant starts that I just got from VilardiGardens.com, from Suzanne Vilardi, and I'm going to lay them out the way that I want them to look in the bed. Just like a successful general plans out their troops before the battle begins, I plan out my troops in my raised bed before the planting begins. so I got this thing all planned out. And I got it set up this way. I've got some edible flowers in the front, so I got some giant Swiss pansies. I've got some hibiscus, which I'll have roselles, which I'll make tea out of. So hibiscus here, hibiscus in the corner, in the middle front, in the corner. I've got 2 more kinds of edible flowers like Johnny Jump Ups and other types of pansies here. We'll put those guys side by side. I've got the really cool variety of basil I've never seen before. It was at Suzanne Vilardi's place. It's called the serrated basil. So this looks really good. Smells really good. Look at how cool that leaf is. It's all jagged, like a knife or something. Like a shark's tooth. We should call it shark's tooth basil. I renamed it just now. And this one right here is called the Napolitano basil, like Janet Napolitano. And I've got this one going here. This one here is called the Samui Holy Thai basil. Looks almost like samurai. Holy Thai basil. This one is the red Reuben basil, which looks kind of like amethyst basil, but it's not. Over here, we've got another Holy Thai basil, the Samui kind. Another red Reuben basil. And in the back, I've got Market More cucumbers. I've got some tomatillos. I've got a new variety of cucumber I've never grown before. It's called the Metki dark cucumber. We'll find out if this one works together. This is a new one for me. Another tomatillo and a lemon cucumber. And you can see how each of these pots has got 2 plants in the pots. And if you guys click on the screen right here and watch my video where I took a bunch of sweet pepper plants and I showed you how to divide them and be successful, they're all still making it and doing great. And that video's, you guys seem to like that video, so we're gonna do the same method in this video, and we're gonna take 1 lemon cucumber pot and turn it into 2 plants. And then I'm gonna take these special seeds in here, because I know for a fact this is one of my favorite summertime plants to grow in the Phoenix area. And the seeds look like that. They look like little alien heads with little eyes and then a big long alien head, like a cone head kind of thing. And this is loofah seed. These are loofahs that I grew myself, so every season that I grow and replant my own seeds, they get more tolerant of the environment that I plant them in. So I'm really excited to plant my own loofah seeds. I'm gonna plant just 2 spots of loofahs and let the loofahs go crazy up here, and then I can use the sponges in the shower for rags, dishes, cleaning rags and stuff like that. And they usually are ready to harvest in about November, December when it gets cold. I'm gonna plant a couple of these with you guys, and I'll show you my method here, and then I'll do the rest and come back to you at the end. So watch this, the hibiscus. I pop them out of the pot, and then I save these pots. And I'm gonna bring them back to Suzanne Vilardi because she needs them. So I don't wanna waste it, so I save these guys and I'll re-gift them back to her. I take the soil here in the corner, dig it back, and I push this guy in the ground just to the same level he's at currently, and then I fill the soil in around, and no need to compact them too hard and like press them in. Just kind of put the soil back just like that and let it be all nice and fluffy. Don't need to compact it. The Jake Mesa 4 years ago was like forcing those guys in there really hard, and you don't need to do that. Just nice and relaxed. Relaxation is better, you guys. Here's the giant Swiss pansy. Do the same thing right here, and technically I could probably divide that guy out, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave him as a nice cluster. The other thing too, look at how that's dry. See how those roots are dry right there? Look at how good that soil is from Vilardi Gardens, with the rice hulls in there and the good compost and the really healthy organic soil. The reason why is because I did not water these plants today. When you guys go to plant plants or seedlings or seed starts, I would advise you not to water the plants on the day that you put them in your raised bed, because you want to water the plants right after you plant them in the raised bed, and that way these guys are looking forward to that refreshing drink of all those new nutrients you have prepped for them in your raised bed. So I'm gonna water these guys immediately after putting them in the ground right here. So this guy's gonna go in there, and the soil now just feels good. It feels like really good soil with azomite, worm castings, coconut coir. It feels really nice. I'm gonna put the rest of these plants that are in the front here on the ground, and I'll come back to you guys for the rear plants to show you how I divide them out Then I'm gonna show you how I plant the loofah seed, and then I'm gonna show you the most important part of this whole process at the end. There we go, it's starting to look like a really good garden. Look at that. Hibiscus, edible flowers, serrated basil, sweet peppers. This is called a goatee eggplant, G-O-T-I. Really cool variety of green stripy eggplant. These are two of the chocolate sweet peppers, my favorite, the chocolate peppers that Suzanne Vilardi is selling. The holy basil, the purple basil, the Napolitano basil. I'm really excited about this bed. It's looking really good, and it's kind of tucked here in the corner of my yard. Nice, artistic, amongst the edible trees by the pond. A really beautiful spot, and this time of day, it's about 6:30. The setting sun, bam, hits this guy and illuminates the leaves of all the plants. I love it. It just looks so nice and makes me feel good deep in the chi, right in the chi. It feels really good. Now we're gonna take apart these cucumbers here. So I got these Market More cucumbers, and this is gonna be an experiment. I don't know if they're gonna work because it's getting hot. It's the end of May right now in Phoenix. So we're gonna find out together if these cucumbers can last into the heat of the summer, and we'll see together. Check it out, I'm gonna take these guys, and first thing I do is I'm gonna dig out the holes for these guys first, because the key with dividing plants from one pot is speed. It's timing. Just like in a martial art fight, in a kung fu fight, the person who's the strongest and who's the fastest is not always the best at fighting. The person who has the most timing and who can hit at the right time, they are the best at fighting. So I'm gonna have good timing, take these guys apart as gently as I can. Boom, I broke them right in the ground really quick. Get them in there. And then I'm gonna water them right away so that they have minimal stress. Look at that. That was pretty fast. That was like an old cowboy 6-shooter. Then I'm gonna plant the tomatillo next to these guys. Kind of right here. Shout out to all my friends in Center, Colorado, like Yesenia and Gabriel, because I'm telling you, when I visited my friends in Center, Colorado, that was the tomatillo capital of the USA. There were so many home gardeners there in Center that were growing tomatillos. I couldn't believe it. So I'm really inspired to grow tomatillos here, just like my friends out there in Center. I'm gonna take apart these cucumbers, and this is the one I'm really excited about, called the Metki Dark Cucumber. And I'll come, if you guys subscribe to my channel here and hit the like button, I'll come back to you guys with updates of how this cucumber's doing. I broke this guy, I forgot to put the holes. I'm losing it. Cucumbers can only be, they can be about 6 inches apart and still make it if your soil's got a lot of nutrients in it. Then I'm gonna get this tomatillo right here, next to these guys. Tomatillos sometimes need a trellis, so I got them on the trellis as well. This lemon cucumber is John Kohler's favorite with growingyourgreens.com. John Kohler is one of my gardening inspiration guys. If you want to see the video where I went to film a gardening video with John Kohler, click it, it's on the screen right now. And John Kohler broke a board. He's a man. He broke a board like a martial artist. That's how strong raw vegans are. Then I'm gonna reach into my pocket and pull out the loofah seeds, baby. Oh yeah. I have extra loofah seeds, so I'm gonna plant 3 loofah seeds per hole. Here's how I do it, check it out. The key is do not plant your seeds too deep. Number 1 rule, they don't need to be very deep. Just barely under the surface. So 1, 2, 3. I put a little triangle of seeds and then I just barely cover them. The enemy of seed planting is putting the seeds too deep. And we're gonna put a couple right here as well. I'll put a little hole right there. 1, 2, 3. And just barely cover those guys. All right, here's the second to last step. We're gonna water this guy. I always spray the dirt off the edges of my garden because, call me OCD, but I think it looks better when the dirt is sprayed back into the garden. So gotta clean it up in there, and then overhead water, just a nice light water. I love these spigots. I get these from Home Depot because it's nice and flat. And it puts a nice flat spray that I can water nicely with. And I have a water filter that I use that I get from Seamus O'Leary's tropical fruit trees. And I now sell the water filter. It's a really good price. If you want a water filter that takes all the calcium out of the water, it's at jakemace.com at the gardening section. Check it out. So once I kind of spray down all the soil, then I give each plant a little individual attention and try to flood the area around each plant, especially the ones I divided in half, like the cucumbers. I want them to get a nice good drink. And the nighttime temperature right now in Phoenix will be about 70 degrees tonight. It was about 90 degrees today at the high, so this way I'm watering these guys right before it gets dark, and then they'll sit with good moisture all night and be able to relax without the heat of the sun beating down on them. And then hopefully tomorrow they'll enjoy their new permanent place here at my home. I'm gonna love showing you guys updates about these guys, because I love how a new bed looks, but then I also love how a successful bed looks about 2 or 3 months in. And this is where I meditate with my plants, and I try to connect with them on an emotional level, and I go, Mr. Plants, how deep do you want the water? And I visualize the water going down about 12 inches, and I can just feel what like 8 to 12 inches of depth is like, and that's when I stop watering. And then I promised you guys if you watch to the end, I'd show you the most important step last year. So we're about at that time. Then we're gonna wrap this video up because it's getting dark on us here. The most important step is behind me. Follow me, let's go. I've got my bucket here that I put the pond water in earlier, and I'm gonna fill it up with wood chips. The first time I tried using mulch on top of my garden, it was alfalfa hay. But then I started reading things like, you don't know if alfalfa hay is GMO, if it's genetically modified, and the alfalfa hay just seemed to look weird. It was too long, too bulky and in the way, and it smelled awful. Once it got wet and started cooking out, it was really smelly. The wood chips mixed with leaves that I get for free from tree companies are the way to go. And what I do next is I do this. I take 2 handfuls of wood chips for each plant basically, and I tuck the wood chips around the plant like so. And I would say starting now and every 2 weeks going into the summer, I'll add an extra handful of wood chips until there's probably about a foot, maybe a foot of wood chips on top of the soil. Not in the soil, but on top of the soil. And so as the plants grow taller, I'll include more and more wood chips around the plant. And this is key for many reasons. Number one, it's gonna keep moisture in the beds. You'll water less, and the plants will have a more consistent moisture level around their root zone. Number two, you're going to encourage microbial life to be born beneath the soil. Don't use synthetic mulch, synthetic wood chips, synthetic mulch. That's man-made stuff. You don't want that. You want the stuff from Mother Earth. So I get the real stuff. Number three, when the sun is up during the day and it's beating down on these plants, they need a break. They need a break. Just like you build a wind break, a snow break, and you have a sunshade in your car on the windshield that blocks the sun from getting that heat and damaging your car and heating it up on the inside. The plants also need a sunshade, and the wood chips is the sunshade. It's going to create a layer that will protect the plants, roots from getting overheated when the heat of the sun is on them. The leaves need the light, but the roots don't want to be baked like potatoes. No baked potatoes in the garden. So I put the wood chips around each plant. This load of wood chips was dropped off 3 days ago, and it's from a bunch of Palo Verde trees that were chipped locally here in the Phoenix area. And normally the wood chips are from living trees that they're clearing out, so they're not diseased. They're living trees that were sadly chopped up in a wood chipper and then brought to my house, and they'll live on through my garden. Once the wood chips are all in place, I do one more watering. And then I will keep putting wood chips on top as the weeks progress here and get toward the summer. If you guys want to see this raised bed in person, I got a gardening tour coming up at my house, the final gardening class I'm going to host. And these tours are fun. It's not really my job, but it's just a fun class I want to offer for the community here in the Phoenix area so that everybody can learn to garden and learn by my mistakes. So I've made a lot of mistakes, but I've learned gardening through the School of Hard Knocks, and I think I've started to have some success, and we're growing a lot of our food here at my home, and so I want to share that knowledge and inspiration with you guys. So May 30th, it's going to be Saturday, May 30th at 8 a.m. until 9:30 a.m. The link to the Facebook event or the meetup group event is in the description below the video, but you guys can just show up if you want. So again, Saturday, May 30th, 8 a.m. We're gonna give you guys free seeds. We asked for like a $10 donation, but we'll give you a lot of free seeds, a lot of knowledge, a tour of what we're growing, and we're gonna show you guys what I'm growing right now that's gonna make it all summer long so it can feed me all summer long. Because I'm not gardening because I love to garden, I'm gardening because I wanna eat the food. Number one thing you can do, if you're in the ASU School of Sustainability or you're just into sustainability, number one thing you can do is go vegan. Don't wear leather shoes, don't wear leather belts, don't eat meat, because if you guys go vegan, you're conserving water, conserving land, conserving resources, and you're also looking after the emotional and physical well-being of humans and animals. Number two is grow your own food at home. And when you grow your own food at home, eat that food. Don't just grow it to show off to your family and friends. Eat it. Put it in your mouth and put it in your stomach. I want to send a special thank you out there to Suzanne Vilardi for the best plant starts and giving me this Insta garden today. Thanks to Seamus O'Leary's Tropical Fruit Trees for a great water filter. Thanks to Greg Peterson with urbanfarm.org for a great idea in using the wood chips. Thanks to John Kohler with growingyourgreens.com for great inspiration via YouTube. Please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys at the seminar May 30th, and I'll see you back here for free on YouTube next time.